we find that there has been an unfortunate death in the family. A woman is in distress. Go with me for a moment in your imagination to a home that has become a house. There is no love in the room. There's grief in the room. There's emptiness in the room, not because the man has died, but he has died and left his family in an unfortunate situation. It's one thing for you to die, but it's another thing for you to pass away and not leave something for your family to live off of. The text declares in 2 Kings, the 4th chapter, verse 1, now there cried a certain woman. Her husband was a son of the prophets. He could hear from God. He served the Lord. But in his death, he did not adequately set his family up to live without him. Now, his wife is desperate because not only is she dealing with the grief of a dead spouse, but now she has had to take on the load of what it is that he has left. And not only has she taken on the load, but the Bible declares that the creditor was coming to take her sons. Now, many times when we hear this story, we skip over that part. But Bishop, it stopped me in my tracks because the father was the one with debt. But the sons have to pay the consequence. The father didn't adequately prepare. Now the sons' lives is about to be altered because of a decision that their father made. And I just came to talk to about 15 people in here on tonight that say, I've had to take on the debts of other people. I was born into a family with some unfortunate circumstances. I was born into a family where they didn't have their stuff together. And now I have to deal with the decisions of something I did not do. That she does that I can appreciate. The Bible declares she began to cry. Can you shout cry? And I just came to encourage about 15 people that say, I'm going through the worst season of my life. Can I tell you, baby, that God has heard your cry? Can I tell you that your cries, your screams, your moans, your groans have not gone unheard, and God's about to answer your cry? Grab a neighbor by the hand and say, neighbor, he's hearing my cry. Then he asks a question. He says, what shall I do for thee? In other words, what is it really that I can do for you? You know, you have a pretty bad situation, lady. And I don't really know what I can do, but I need you to verbalize to me what it is that you need to see. I need you to open up your mouth in your state of devastation. I need you to open up your mouth in this place of misunderstanding. And let me stop right here. Can I tell you, could it be that maybe you have not seen a miracle yet because you have not opened your mouth? So the Bible says, verse 2. Elijah comes to the house, sees the commotion, sees the tears, realize to me what it is that you need to see. I need you to open up your mouth in your state of devastation. I need you to open up your mouth in this place of misunderstanding. And let me stop right here. Can I tell you, could it be that maybe you have not seen a miracle yet because you have not opened your mouth? Because it's easy to stay quiet when you're going through. It's easy to focus on the negativity when that's all that you're seeing. But can I challenge just about 20 of you right now in this moment for the next 15 seconds to open up your mouth and give a shout to God that says, God, I need you to move right now. God, I don't know where to turn. 1, 2, 3, open up your mouth. He gonna hear that cry. If you would shout, he'll move. If you would shout, he'll answer. She says, I don't have anything in my house, but shall but a pot of oil. Another version says, but a vial of oil, a small amount of oil. Now, people of God, I want you to understand this, that many times God will allow certain areas in your life to be emptied out so that you can see where your true value is. Can I tell you, people of God, I can imagine if that house was still cluttered, if she still had that laptop, if she still had them lamps, if she still had that vase, she would have never saw the oil that had her real value. And some of you are crying over things that you've lost. Some of y'all are crying over things that are gone. But baby, let me tell you, there's something in your house you didn't see before. If they've let me borrow these, why can't they see what's going on? Why do I have to shut them out when they gave this to me? Can I tell you that there are people who are in your life that only serve a certain purpose, and when that purpose is served, they can't see the next thing that God is about to do, because they'll let you borrow vessels, but they don't want to see them filled in your life. They'll let you borrow things, they'll let you get to a certain level, but once you get there, they don't want you to surpass them. Look at a neighbor and say, neighbor, in this season, shut the door. But I wish you would lift your hands and say, this next miracle is strictly on God. Man won't be able to get the credit. Man won't be able to say that I did it. This next one's on God. I wish you right now would just start shutting doors in the spirit. Some of y'all have allowed too many people to have access to your process. Some of y'all have allowed too many people to have access to your process, and they're poking holes in your vessels. Can I tell you, people of God, that God is looking at your faith. God is looking at your pursuit. God is looking at your persistence to see that even when you don't understand where it's coming from, you'll just start pouring. Can you look at a neighbor and say, neighbor, in this season, you may not understand, you may not have all of the blueprint out, but I dare you to just start pouring. You may not know where the next thing is coming from, but God doesn't need you to know the end from the beginning, because he's the Alpha and Omega. He just needs you to pour. So, Bible says, go in the house. These vessels are everywhere. Go with me in your imagination again. Vessels of all shapes and sizes. Skinny vessels, fat vessels, tall vessels, short vessels. And the Bible says that when they get in the house, shut the door, she begins to pour. Another question. How can I fill all of these vessels with this little pot of oil? How, God, are you going to allow all of these things to be filled when this is all I have left? Can I tell you, people of God, that God is looking at your faith. God is looking at your pursuit. God is looking at your persistence to see that even when you don't understand where it's coming from, you'll just start pouring. Can you look at a neighbor and say, neighbor, in this season, you may not understand, you may not have all of the blueprint out, but I dare you to just start pouring. You may not know where the next thing is coming from, but God doesn't need you to know the end from the beginning, because he's the Alpha and Omega. He just needs you to pour. So, the Bible says that she poured out. I'm going to say that over here. So the Bible declares that she just doesn't begin to pour, but the Bible declares that she pours out. In other words, she begins to pour. One vessel filled, keeps pouring. 5 vessels filled. And the Bible declares she pours until all the vessels in her house were filled. And I can imagine if she would have had more vessels, she could have kept pouring. But can you look at a neighbor and say, neighbor, in this season, God's about to supply as much as you demand. Oh, you need to look at another neighbor and say, neighbor, God's about to supply as much as you demand. I know this last season was real rough. I know this last season was real tough. But I need you to look at somebody that look like they believe God's about to move and say, neighbor, God's about to fill every vessel in your life. I said, God, about to fill every vessel in your life. I said, God's about to fill every vessel that's been left in your house. You may not have the resource, you may not have the money, but what you got is some oil. I wish I had some oily people to shout, I got the oil.